On August 12th, 2026, the world remained silent and still as Tyga's newest album, Starface, got the egregious and the most prestigious award that was given by Pitchfork, of all things. And that is a zero point zero out of 10. Yeah, I'm not making this shit up. You can look it up for yourself. This is something that I never thought Pitchfork would ever review or even cover. And look, say what you will about Pitchfork. I think as someone who has been really, you know, open-minded with reviews about certain music tastes and such, I never really pay close attention to Pitchfork because their taste in music and their criticisms regarding like my love of hip hop, R&B pop is really questionable sometimes. But in the case of this is one I have to super agree on, as this is not only the first 0 out of 10 to ever come out in a really long time. We're talking exactly 19 to 20 years since their last 0 out of 10, which the last one, mind you, was this Jets Shine On album, which apparently when you look up on the article itself, there's nothing written on it. It's just a video of a monkey peeing on itself or some shit, and it's that's basically the gist of the reveal. So they really decided to dedicate Starface so hard on this review because, again, it should become to no one's surprise now, ever since the release of this album and Tyga's rollout, that Tyga's been getting clowned on for the fact that this album, one to one, is AI generated. And believe me, before even making this video, I decided to give like one song a listen, and yeah, it's terrible, it's horrible. It just sounds like it not only just doesn't sound like Tyga at all if you know Tyga's music, but simultaneously it's like it's trying to emulate the Weekend, but if the Weekend was just an AI generated robot. That's the best way I can describe it. And also keep in mind that the last album that they reviewed that was like super negative was actually earlier this past year when Chris Brown dropped his Brown album, which is a 1.1.3 out of 10 score, which I gotta say, to go even lower than Chris Brown, that is a massive feat to reach. Because even when you look at the Starface review and how it opens up, it literally opens up with saying the rapper's slop pop concept album is a smug and complacent and depressing. Its very existence has made the world a worse place. Like, damn, you could not start off this review from Tyga Starface with that line alone. And I want to just kind of like sum up the whole thing with this fall paragraph that really stood out like a sore thumb, where basically the reviewer states that instead Starface is smug and complacent and amalgam of 80s synth pop and disco slapped together by someone who seemingly never cared to listen to one synth pop or disco record in his life. What's okay? We gotta pause on that statement before we read the rest. You're telling me that Tyga didn't listen to a single 80s synth pop and disco album in his lifetime and just put this together, supposedly, allegedly by AI? That's a little absurd. I think he put some passion there. As an artist himself, he clearly did his homework rightfully so. Like, what do you mean? But moving on, though, given the amount of actual effort or even labor put into Starfish, which is to say about zero, the margins of this thing must be amazing. Stream it out of morbid curiosity if you must, but know that even a single listen runs the risk of making it profitable and therefore encouraging the music industry to commit such atrocities again. Which is also true. Like, honestly, for anyone that decides to give Starface a shot, you only need to listen to each of these songs once, or just literally just one song off that album once to know what you're getting yourself into. It is the most cliche bullshit pop music you've heard in a fat minute, and it's just not going to be anyone's album of the year contender. And for Tyga saying that, oh no, this is my alternate persona as Starface, that's the most cringe fucking shit ever, man. Like, I'm sorry, but when back when Eminem and Slim Shady did that persona thing, that shit was really amazing, really commendable, and really iconic, and it felt realistic. Tyga with his Starface crap is just so unlikable that I'm not surprised no one's gonna listen to this album ever again. And I gotta say, I have been like not a huge Tyga fan. I want to make this clear, but it is shocking to see his downfall from grace over the past decade or so now. Because believe me when I say, Tyga was on the rise to something new and introspective, and respectfully, he was a upcoming artist thanks to the Young Money, Cash Money record label that was run by Lil Wayne and was spearheaded and was also like the same record label that gave Nicki Minaj and Drake the careers that they have today, thanks to his 2012 album Careless World, Rise of the Last King. But clearly, since 2015's The Gold album, he has really been on this downward spiral. And yes, despite the fact that he did make a comeback in 2019 with that legendary album, which I can't deny was a really good, really solid album from Tyga, it's safe to say that Tyga has been trying to bring back that legendary status since then, and has struggled to recapture it from his last album from last year with the NSFW, or Not Safe for Work album. But to see him go this far to generating an AI Starface album and making a sound that's so recognizable, so unlike Tyga, is just the most Tyga shit I ever heard of, man. And again, it's such a damn shame because this was an artist that at some point or another I had a mutual respect for, and I was thinking that okay, after Legendary, maybe he's gonna come up with something bigger, something grander, but it's pretty clear that over the years he hasn't really switched up his style, he hasn't switched up his flow. So he decided, you know what, let's do an AI generated Starface. Let's see what happens. And lo and behold, it blew up right into his fucking face. And yeah, just wanted to talk about this. And initially I really don't want to talk about this because anyone who sees this album should know that yeah, this thing is fucking terrible, this is dog shit, what's the point? But man, after seeing Pitchfork dropping that 0 out of 10, it made me actually want to burst open and just talk about it. So yeah, just wanted to mention this and let y'all know that history got made today by Pitchfork. And that's really all I gotta say, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.